So you can probably tell I'm in my work uniform and I'm in a hospital. Yeah, that's what happens when you have chest pain. Okay, so why did I have chest pain? I don't know. I was at work, I'd been to see a client, I'd done everything I needed to do there, and I'd driven to my second client, pulled into the driveway, and I felt pressure across the top of my chest. Now, I wouldn't call it pain, I would call it pressure, a bit like you've got a constrictive bandage on. And then I started to feel a bit lightheaded. Now, working for a company full of nurses is fantastic. So I had one of the other nurses come out and they took my blood pressure and it was 180 on 99. Now that's just a little bit too high. So I went into the hospital where they did an ECG. Now I'll put up some footage of an ECG. It's not my ECG. This ECG shows somebody that's in AF, which is an irregular heartbeat. So my heartbeat was normal. And what they do after that is they take a blood test. They want to know whether your heart is in some sort of crisis. And by crisis, I mean heart attack. So if you're having a heart attack, some portion of your heart cells are going to die off. And if they die off, they release a thing called troponin, and that can be detected in the blood. So my troponin levels were normal. So I hadn't had any cell death in my heart, but I still had the pressure across my chest. I had lightheadedness, and then I got this booming headache. So many things can cause your heart to be a bit cranky. So the structure of the heart, the electrical current running through your heart, and that's what they do the ECG for. So there's a thing called PQRST U wave. They don't normally look at the U waves, but there is some talk now that the U waves can tell a bit of a different story. And so today I'm waiting to have what's called a CT angiogram. And what they do is they put dye into your veins and they look at it through a CT machine, and they can measure whether I've got any plaque buildup. Now, I've recently had an ultrasound of my carotid arteries and I had no plaque buildup there. So I'm wondering whether in fact I will have any plaque buildup in my coronary arteries. The other thing that can happen is an external stimulus. So you can take a drug that will give you chest pain. You can have an emotional upset that can give you chest pain. Now, after Wayne died, I had chest pain. And so I went and got it seen to, and that's when they found out that I had uneven R waves. But they didn't know whether I'd had a heart attack or not. Now, this time, the only other thing that I've done is have a steroid injection. Now, steroid injections can increase your blood pressure. Now, if my blood pressure spiked really quickly to 180 on 99, then that would be enough for the heart to get a bit cranky. So I have to take metoprolol, and they've given me 2 tablets. So I have to take one tonight and one in the morning. Now, what the metoprolol will do is it will even out my pulse. My pulse is a bit fast, so it will slow it down a bit, and it will lower my blood pressure a little bit. What they need to be able to do in this CT machine is take an accurate picture. So hopefully I can get some footage of that. Tablet number 1. I've got one tablet in there. One tablet here. Ah, tastes awful. Oh, and I've got to have another one. Not till the morning though. I can't have coffee. It's not the morning. I'm still in my same clothes. What I did want to tell you is all the things that I have to stop before I have this test. So no caffeine for 24 hours beforehand. So I'm drinking water. Not that that's a bad thing, you know. I'm not allowed to have any exercise for 6 hours before the test. Good thing the test's at 7:30 in the morning. I have to stop taking Viagra for 72 hours. I'm really glad I don't take Viagra. Viagra is for erectile dysfunction. I've got a video on that, and I might in fact link that at the end. So there's a whole heap of things that I have to do in preparation for it. So now I will see you in the morning. Good morning. I'd really like a cup of tea. And blood pressure tablet number 2. Done. Off to the hospital. How bizarre. They've told me no exercise, and the cardiac unit has to be the furthest thing away from where you get to park your car. It's funny, I'm here in my little white gown, about to have an ECG before I go and have the CT scan. And the thing that struck me more than anything was the smell. And smells, for some reason, transport you right back to a different period of time where you last smelt that smell. They say that the smell centre is next to the memory centre. I'll have to look that up and see what regions of the brain are next to one another. It's possible it's true. First birds. My first words spoken after the procedure was coffee. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? Not really. But what came back was that all of my coronary arteries are just fine. And I'll put up that picture again that I put up earlier. Every segment of the heart is labelled differently, and they look at the arteries at each of these different points, and mine came back perfectly clear. But then it happened again. So I ended up back in the hospital, and they ran some more tests. And sometimes people go, oh, look, it's just a bit of indigestion, when in fact they're having a heart attack. Well, mine was the other way round. So I've been on some pretty powerful anti-inflammatory medication for my hip. And what that's done is it's irritated all of the top of my, well, they think it's irritated all of the top of my small intestine. Now, you can develop ulcers, you can just get some irritation, you can get some inflammation. That's my favourite word. And because all of the nerves are all connected, it can mimic a heart attack. So it's quite possible that my heart symptoms were in fact what's called an epigastric episode. So I now have to go and have a scope, a camera put down so that they can have a look and make sure that I actually haven't done any damage. But in saying that, I don't want anybody to dismiss any sort of chest pain. The hospital though that I went to was really thorough and they tested everything twice. And so I had my troponins tested twice. I had an ECG done twice. So if you're having any sort of chest pain, pain that goes down your arm, pain that comes up into your jaw, pain between your shoulder blades, anything that's crushing or burning or radiating out, any sort of chest pain whatsoever, I want you to head straight to the emergency department of your nearest hospital. And if it's not a heart attack, if it's nothing to do with your heart, then by God, that's a blessing. I can't tell you how frightened I was sitting in my work car with chest pain, thinking that I was having a heart attack and I was going to die in the client's driveway. And so all of this has actually been quite a wake-up call, and it reminds me that I'm human and that I'm just a collection of cells and things can go wrong with those cells. So I'm still absolutely 100% determined that I am going to get my farm. So my heart's 100%, I'm going to get my stomach in order, my hips on the way to being useful again, and I'm doing what I can. So if you're enjoying the videos, please join the village, hit subscribe, hit the bell and share the love, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.